All right. And hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the GH Mini Spotlights. That's right, kids. GH Mini Spotlight. We're here for you, me and Frank Moran. Frank,
Yes, but not in anywhere near as a cool locale as you, James. I'm just here in my usual spot.
usual spot. I'm coming to you live from San Francisco. I am, kids, and I'm here for the week, and I've been doing some stuff outside of soaps. But I was like, I'm going to do my show while I'm here. And I was gonna do my background over here, but the cord doesn't work. So I'm in some stupid loft apartment
Oh,
over here, Frank.
would have been like some kind of picturesque view of San Francisco.
Yeah, but that's not happening. It's a plug situation, a plug situation. I can one doesn't reach over here and one's too far over there. It's these cutesy places they have in San Francisco.
How don't they? Aren't they taking in zooming along with backgrounds?
No,
Oh, come
okay.
on, San Francisco, get it together.
But Frank, the one thing that I do get, it's a very tech city, so the Wi-Fi is great. They're about
Uh, and you have a great spiral staircase, perfect for
Boy,
some great soap opera-esque struggle where somebody falls down it.
that was almost me twice yesterday. So yeah, I hate that staircase, kids. Look at it. It's like I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I get dizzy when I'm walking it. I'm like, who put that there? Shit. I am not a fan. But we're a fan of you guys. And so you guys to know that Y&R, that's out now. We talked all about that. And Bold. The kiss heard and seen around the world happened. Frank, it was one of those things. It happened on Friday, and our mouths were agape collectively.
No.
They did something bold, Frank. Never, but we never thought we'd see coming, and everybody we talked about it in our show this morning. So check that out. That is out now, also. Now, of course, after us, it's my chocolate twin. Tony Moore and the gang over there at Edition Days, and they're serving you a full dish of Days Are Alive. It's something bold. Oh, that's me. That's me from Peacock Television, whatever, something like that. And check that out. It's next. Check out the interview with the new Gabby they did. It's actually really, really good. Her name is Sherry Lee Hernandez. Check that. Oh, no, that's the character's name is Hernandez. Well, her name is Sherry. It's really good. Check it out. Tell them James sent you. And Frank's gonna find this out right now because I just happened. Tony Moore got me an interview
Whoa.
about that he's friends with. Now I'm doing it tomorrow morning.
Anthony Geary.
Oh God, I wish. Oh my God, I wish with that. It's Josh Kelly. So I'll be interviewing Josh Kelly tomorrow morning here in San Francisco.
Nice.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that for GH30D. So stay tuned for that. That'll be kind. You had some big scenes this week, Frank. So with your buddy, the Silver Fox. So that'll come. So stay tuned for that. I can't see the chat on my computer, so I gotta go to my phone, which I don't understand what that's about. My phone's not working. Why is my phone not working? Oh, there we go. Why is it giving me problems? I guess he was in here. Okay. Chandra, Jason, Beauty, Bridget. Simpson case was mine. No Tubi, leave me alone. AE, Beauty, Dewan, everybody. Okay, so very good. Okay, so everybody's in here. Good. And we will get to Frank's emails later too. Did he get to 300,000? Find out later. I know, it's great. So hi Frank, how are you doing?
All right. Yeah, no, it's we got, a super hot amount of GH to discuss. Some is interesting times as things shift into uh, the new regime, which is sort of like the old regime, but
Yeah.
now official. So,
Right. So, folks, I said this 6 months ago, and I was telling Frank before we started, I was going to keep my mind open until we got to the current head writer situation. But it's changed so much, it's crazy. So now it's Michelle, and that's wrong. It's Elizabeth Court, but now it's Chris Van Etten, who was demoted, but now he's back as a head writer without Dan, who's now over at Days Are Alive. I can't keep up. But he announced those two.
Did he ever officially leave once he was left as head writer,
I
or
thought
did
he was
he just get
fired,
demoted?
and then at some point they said he was a breakdown writer. So I don't know how true that was or not. I don't. Maybe he was ever fired. I don't know. I have no. I will. Hi, Katie. I have no. I have no idea now. Was he just demoted? They kept it silent for a minute and just kind of went. I have no idea. I have no idea. But now he's back up again as a co-head writer. So they're not letting Elizabeth do it by herself. So that's interesting too. So they're both. So, but then people, the question is, Frank, what we've been seeing, has he had a hand in the whole time?
Could be. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there were some things that we saw recently that seemed to be more overtly Chris's, kind of bringing stuff he wanted to explore back,
Yes.
for better or for worse.
Yes. So I don't know. We're gonna get into it, you guys. I mean, because just I mean, there's I was telling Frank, it just when there are writing changes, regime changes, you have to expect they're gonna drop some stuff. Some folks are not gonna keep it going. It may take a few weeks, and in some cases, just an episode. They may just like all of a sudden it's very jarring. But it's just par for the course. It's kind of happens. But I will tell you guys, like we're gonna break it down. There's a lot of stuff, whether we like it or not, it's going fast. They're just like boom, 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 which I kind of like the pacing. It's almost whiplash because they're going really, there's like, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. Got it. They're not waiting 5 months to do stuff. They're kind of going fast. So let's start with what should we start with? Let's start with. Someone mentions Drillo. Um,
Do we
we'll go
start with your boy Josh Kelly, since you're going to be speaking with him?
Yeah, yes. So they've rectified the situation. Now him and Mac are father and son.
Yeah, I mean, as always, never being subtle, GH, especially when we've got, kids involved in scenes. Like we knew right where right where that scene was going as soon as the second that frisbee landed in the lake at the Quartermain mansion. Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, neither of us were thrilled about, I don't think, about, them Mac being at odds with Cody about this. And since we see them so rarely, I mean, it's been weeks and weeks and weeks of this. So, if we're not going to see them that often, then yeah, let's just rectify it. And then let's see where we go from there. I really was not interested in seeing that beat continue on.
I agree. I think they felt the same way. He was like, just like, okay, and now we're good. Let's move on now. And him and Sasha kissing, let's get them together. I think we're fast tracking it a little bit. I think it's like, okay, now that's played too long. I don't mind big stunts like this. Well, they had the pool stunt a few weeks ago. Now they have this little thing. I think it's kind of cool. They have these sets. Why not, right? And use them. I have no problem with that. Kid in danger, of course. I mean, that's just whatever. James is kind of, he's one of those kids, that precocious kids. I get it. I enjoyed Maxie and Mac. I enjoyed Felicia and Mac. Like I said, we don't get them very often.
Yeah.
So as we're saying, you said, as we're saying this and going, oh, like, there are some good parts, obviously, in it based on history, character ease. So I enjoyed those parts.
How are you feeling about the Cody reclamation, especially as you're talking with Josh tomorrow? I mean, it seems like we're seeing scenes with him with Tracy, with James, with Sasha. I mean, I feel the character's definitely in a different space and place than he was when he first came in and was kind of mired in some kind of unfortunate storytelling choices, which did not help that character out, as we've talked about a lot.
I agree. Well, so one more, it's like Valentine. It was like a year or so later, they finally got him in storylines where it's like, okay, he's not a cartoon villain anymore. We actually are kind of rooting for him. We kind of like him. He had chemistry with certain people. Like it was like, okay, now with Cody, now he could be likable. But there are a couple of things, obviously, that they're really trying to do really hard since Finn is gone. Really pushes Tracy narrative with him, which I don't mind in some ways, but the backgammon was a little too much for me. It's a little too on the nose. I was like, that was her and Finn. That was her and Finn. I like that the horseback riding was their thing.
Yeah.
And I know you really can't show that on daytime TV. I wish they could. In the old days, they could have some exterior shots and do that. I see why they're doing it. Backgammon's easier to film, but that's a little too much on the nose to me for because that was her and Finn. But her talking about Finn, I like again, Jane Elliott, just this, I mean, amazing in every scene. Even her and Violet, same thing. I don't care for the Violet character, but them together was really cute. So it's like they pluck Tracy in places that actually helps out characters. So to go back to your Cody question, it helps out him. It smooths him out a bit.
Yeah. I mean, admittedly, with what you're saying with the backgammon is if I were to see Tracy play backgammon after she played with Gregory, the next time I would wanted to see it be with Stella, since they had already kind of teased that a while ago.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate that that was the next time. So I don't want, so having it with Cody, as you're saying, yes, for the scene and what it was trying to accomplish, sure. But I really want to. I am hoping with all the changes that have been happening behind the scenes that pursuing a Stella and Tracy relationship and growing that is not something that's going to be kind of left on the wayside.
I agree, and I mean, but we'll get to Stella and how stellar she was in her scenes. We'll get to that in a second with TJ and all that. But I think Cody now can be a regular character. That's why I'm like it's not over the top now the crazy. I think now they can allow him to be part. Now he's connected to a big family. They can work that out now, and I think Cody will be fine. He'll be fine.
I will be curious to see what they do with him next.
Right.
And Sasha too. I mean, they're at the Quartermain Mansion, so they do have connections to many other characters, so they could. I I don't want them just to be support characters to other people's stories. I would be curious to see how the show's going to handle them in possibly generating their own story. Will they be a couple in a dangerous situation together, sort of thing? Who knows?
Frank, though, see, I mean, and I don't know what this new writing team is going to do because now Willow is like, I want to be a nurse to stop working with Drew, yet they were in an elevator together and all this was happening. And Sasha's been talking to Michael a lot at the house. I don't know. I don't know if they're trying to lead somewhere. I mean, Sasha and Michael used to be together, that kind of thing. And the Drew Will thing will have to come out, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, especially when you got James overhearing
Right.
all that stuff. Yeah.
Yes. Now I'm curious to have James over here. And I thought it would different was Violet or maybe Leo or somebody. I mean, do they kind of know? I'm like, what is he gonna do with that? What are you gonna do? I mean, it has to come out. It has to come out. I don't know how it's gonna come out, but it has to come out.
Yeah, I don't know if like James talks to Wiley and says something.
How funny. Oh, how funny. I didn't think about that. Oh my God, that could be it. So thinking, why is James finding out? That's kind of like weird. He went, That little actor is so funny after that. He's like he was gathering tea. I was like, go on, James, my namesake. But I was like, that's like Frank is good. Maybe on the play he said something. Oh my God.
I mean, I could only think that's the best, the most logical way. It would then make it way back to both Michael and Willow, is if Wiley comes back and says, James said that you were kissing Drew. What?
Or he says, mommy's kissing Drew to Michael.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Frank, I didn't think about that. Okay, well, there you go. I think it's probably it. Everybody says that would be great, Frank. No, I think Frank was on it. You're on to something. I think that's the I didn't think I forgot about Wiley. I forgot about Wiley. I tried to forget about Wiley, but anyway. That's it. Okay, God, okay, that could be it. Okay. Well, it's gonna come out. That's gonna come out. So I'm thinking the fallout would be who would Michael go to? Sasha.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but she seems so into Cody right now. So I'd be curious to see.
I know, David. Frank, who are you?
David.
David. He lives
Where
here.
do you want me to be, James? Where do you need me to be?
Don't call me late for dinner. But no, Frank, I think that's because she's in the Quartermain house. I mean, she's around his age. She's the Quartermain. They used to be together. It could be an innocent thing at first, and then Cody. His folks. you guys are not gonna like it. I know you're not. I think I would mind seeing Cody and Tracy. I know people don't want to see it probably. I know you don't, but why not?
I mean, she already said, he reminds her of a young Gregory. So,
Yep. I think why not? Sasha consoles Michael, Tracy consoles Finn, consoles him. There you go, kids.
oh man, what a
That'd be something else, wouldn't it? It'd be something else. And then you got Nina giving her body.
the best thing I have been enjoying the past couple weeks is just the running thing of Maxie coming in front of people's other people's sexual activities and being like, I don't need to know about that stuff.
I know,
Uh,
right?
whether it's Sasha and Cody, whether it's Nina and Drew, I've been enjoying Max's reaction to be like, that okay, whatever.
Number one, they're dressing Maxie better too.
Yeah, I what I like is that Maxie is just so dialed in on Nina and what she's doing, and like all the ways that this is just going to go horribly wrong, and yet Nina's just like, no, 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 you don't understand, Maxie, you don't understand.
But it's like I understand, and it's wrong.
Yeah,
But Maxie to me is old Maxie again. That's one of the good things about this. She's dressing better, looks better, sounds like herself. And I'm liking that. And I think, and that's the point is, I think Nina really is. I mean, Nina likes Drew. She likes him. And see, Dewan says Nina and Michael.
oh,
That could happen too. I can see it happening too because they're getting along finally.
oh man, imagine that. That's just Nina and Michael and Willow and Drew.
It's just, I mean, the fact they had Will and Drew, I'm just like, I know they're not related, but they're like related. They're not related. They're like that's just, I mean, it's soapy messiness, which I don't mind on some level.
How would
Uh,
you feel like Wiley growing up in that situation if that had actually happened? Just so bonkers.
I know.
You're my grandma, but also my stepmom now.
Well, that happens in a lot of soaps too. No, well, then Nina will die. That's so funny. I don't Nina and I don't get all Michael's. Hey, Jason, Sasha still lived. Well, she's still alive. She's one of Michael's exes that's still alive. People go, stranger things have happened. Exactly, AE. That's what I say. I'm like, just saying, anything could go. I mean, I'm not saying that Tracy and Cody fall in love or anything or whatever, or Michael didn't fall. It could be a one night stand.
I mean, Tracy's got needs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
needs. Why not? What will Michael and Nina do to his would do his already? Yeah, I know. I got
Um, well, as before we move on from Tracy, the one thing is as much as we love Jane Elliott, and she makes all these things better, as we've said. I feel like she's now just kind of playing support. She's just propping up other characters, which is great. I mean, she does fantastic work, but I need a little more Tracy of her driving some agenda, and I'm hoping that the show gets back to that.
Well, here we go. So speaking of that, that leads us into the deception stuff.
All
And
right.
Italian.
I mean, well, that seems like the big thing where it's all of a sudden Blaze is just gone, and yet we're keeping Natalia. She's like, oh, I could go back to Florida because I don't have enough money to be in a two city kind of situation. Uh, how do you feel about her sticking around? Do you want her to stick around? Do you see a purpose for her on the show?
So, Frank's going to fans. Frank's going to Dicey's territory. How do I answer this?
It's Shady Sunday, James. Remember that.
It is Sadie Sunday. She's reminding me. Okay, folks. People are wanting me to think. Oh my god. So I'm not on X. I'm not on social media that much. So people were bringing to my attention all week, I guess, about Kate Manzi has been running her mouth, Frank, online.
Hmm.
Um, it is Shady Sunday, but so many.
May I ask, what is she running her mouth about? I have not
Oh,
followed.
Shade is life. Okay, so Frank Castle doesn't know you guys. So she's answering fans back going off on them.
Hmm.
And she's been telling people, you were saying, well, Christina, because Christina and Blaze broke up. And apparently it's gotten out that Kate Manzi, allegedly, make sure I say allegedly, got Homegirl off the show, who played Blaze, Jackie Maurice Lopez,
Oh,
Jackie Grace Lopez, that she didn't like her. That's allegedly, that's what I heard. Allegedly, that's what I heard. So again, allegedly, I'm like, don't say James said. I'm just saying, this is what I'm reading. But Kate Manzi has been online. People have been attacking her, so Kate is attacking back. Was like, I'm an actress. I do my show, blah blah. You know, Christina isn't gay. Christina is bi. But but the show said you were gay. Perez Hilton said you were gay. You've been with a man a lot since Aaron and all stuff. She goes, but I'm telling you, the character is bi. That's how the character. So she's been just people getting mad at Kate, going off on her. It's been a whole thing. Yes, Casey. I know Casey, of course. Hutchison from the chat. Broke it all the way down for her. Yeah, it's I'm like Casey. Yeah, so the thing was like, does Kate Manzi have that kind of power? Does she not have that kind of power? So it's just all this swirling around it. That's why Blaze is gone. But you might recast it, the whole thing, because of her. So I have to do a caveat, Frank, because all of you who've come to my Zooms, my private Zooms, know why I'm not a fan of Kate Manzi. I have a personal issue with her.
hmm.
So, which I won't say out here. I mean, if I get just so you guys know it already. I'll tell you, Frank, afterwards. Whatever. But I was like, but I have a so I just have not been a fan of her since Days of Our Lives. But I actually like her as Christina. So I think she's grown on me as, even though Lexi Ainsworth is my girl, I think I actually like, I don't mind her as Christina, actually. So two things can be true at once, folks. They can be. You can not like an actress and like the performance and vice versa. So I've stayed out of the whole thing because everybody's like, James, all I gotta say is, I told you so. No. All I'm saying is that I'm not surprised by all the chatter.
Mm.
I'm trying to be diplomatic about it a little bit. So yes, the next substitute will be spicy. Yes, the next substitute will be next month, folks.
Yeah.
In September. So yeah, sign up, kids. I'll tell you the whole story off camera. I'm not gonna say it on here. But my official stance is I don't mind her as Christina. I think she's doing a fine job. Like I said, as personal stuff for me goes, I'm not a fan of her. So hearing this chatter, people going off on her going off on people, I'm not surprised. Just not. But she had when she was on Days of Our Lives, same thing. And then we cast her with Marcy Miller, who I love. I love Marcy Miller, to be a side note on that. So yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a 180 on this Christina and
It
Blazer.
was.
It just so quickly. And see you later. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
You're fired. Yeah. Uh,
Uh,
the whole thing. So the time, so if that, so to me, Frank, to actually go back to your original question, if some of this other stuff is true, that means they will probably recast Blaze at some point or bring someone else on for her family to keep Natalia on. Because that was the original plan. I think the original plan was to build around Natalia and Blaze and have like her brother come. Like I don't know for sure, but I have a feeling that's what was happening. So if this chick got fired prematurely, then Natalia's supposed to stay on. Then do I want her to stay on? I have no use for her. I love you, LaRue. I love I love her. Love her, love her, love her. But I'm now just curious, yeah, what is her purpose now? Her purpose was she was a homophobe. And devoutly Catholic. And so in relation to her daughter, to Christina, to like that was the storyline to me. Now it's like now you're gonna work in deception as a CFO. I mean, I guess you can grow her from there, I guess. I don't know, it's just weird.
it did seem weird to me when and what would your title be? Like, I think CFO would be appropriate. I'm like, say what? You were just like a music manager, and now you're just CFO? Man, I wish I could go into a meeting and just say, like, yeah, I think this job title would be appropriate for me.
Yeah, I don't. So I don't know. So I don't know the behind. I don't know exactly. I can't comment. I don't know what Frank's thinking or whatever. I was just like, oh, they're keeping her. I was like, okay, but I think it's because if this other stuff is true, that was always a plan.
I
So
mean, if you look at Sonny, I mean,
yeah,
you need, some character, whether he hops into a relationship now or it develops over the course of time, but you need something to happen. And it's not going to happen with Carly, and not going to go Ava, and they're not going back to Nina.
nope,
So, I mean, like, who else on the canvas would you see Sonny with? I mean,
nobody.
it seems like
Nobody.
it fits that need. So I could see why they would want to, especially if you've got like Eva LaRue. That's it's a high quality, high caliber actress that you've got in that role. So
Well, even though he was, I mean, winning actor, she's a high. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I love it. I love her personally and everything. She's great. I'm just curious to see, yeah, what they're going to do with her now. I have a feeling it's Sunny. I have a feeling you're right. She'll be paired with Sunny. Um,
it just seems weird to me, like how much like Natalia knows about Sonny's life and stuff, because it was just like, hey, I know him just as, Christina's dad. And I guess he's a coffee importer. But the way that people are just like, we all know that Sonny is a mob, and if he wants to invest in deception, could it be mob money? And she's like, oh, that she's just not really. To me, like it was no sweat off her back, where it was just like, oh yeah, yeah, no, I'll make sure that money's clean, and if it's even terrible, then I will kill the deal. But it was just like there's no like nothing from Natalia to registering like, oh yeah, this guy is a mobster. Oh, all
yep,
right.
yep, yep,
We've yet to have that realization at all in her time here.
nope. The character Natalia, I know it's a polarizing one for obvious reasons, but I think the character, because all the regime changes, has just not been written well. I think the character could have a rich life in Port Charles if written well. I could write for it easily, and I could write something easy for it. It's really good. I think that would people would be happy about. Um, but I really just think that it was all the changes, all the writing changes. They just didn't. I think Patrick Mulcahy, who was the original writer, I think he had a definite vision that he left. So characters they didn't create the characters, so they just flounder until they find their way. So I don't know. I just think it's from that press conference that made it look like a victim, Natalia a victim, and it's like I'd like the beginning was this complex portrayal of I love my mommy, but she doesn't like who I am, and that could be really explored.
Yeah, which I feel like tough to do with Blaze not on the canvas,
Right.
And so, uh, in the meantime, it's like, well, then how do you really kind of grow out her character? I mean, especially that facet of her character and her worldview without having Blaze around, who's not involved with Christina. So there's really no, motivation at all to have those kind of conversations or topics. She could just nestle in, as she said, I'm behind the scenes. No one's even going to know. I'm never going to be a face forward person speaking in behalf of deception. So, I mean, there's really, I don't know how we show her maturing or, changing her worldview without those characters present. Uh, yeah. And also, like for soaps, it's also that, yeah, as much as the cast can get big and we all have our favorites, but I feel, and which is true, but I also feel soaps need those injections of new characters for however long they might be on, whether it's 6 months, a year, 2-year contract, that come in and help move another character on the canvas in a different direction, or help you tell a really interesting story. Like I, for some reason, I always think of when I think of characters like that, I think of John Wesley Shipp on All My Children. Boom, comes in for a couple year arc, plays that kind of creep character, and does stuff with Trevor. Great, and then he's gone.
Yeah.
And so Natalia, even though she's on now, doesn't mean she's going to be here forever.
Right.
Maybe she's here for a couple years, and for she serves her purpose for whatever the next phase of like Sunny's arc may be.
Yeah.
Or maybe we all love she goes through a change like Valentine, like
Yeah.
Cody,
Yeah.
and in like a year and a half from now, we're like, wow, they've really really kind of made her a more well-rounded character.
Yeah.
And she sticks around for like 5, 6 years, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It is again, everything's got to be so fast. It's like, oh, Blaze was gone. I thought she was going on tour. They're like, the actress is gone. Oh, that's it. I didn't expect. So I just think, for me, Samantha asked, what do we think about the message of the soul story? They've botched, to me, the message of the story. They botched it. It could have been really good. It felt very antiquated in many ways. That Perez Hilton interview was not good. Involving Christina in a way where she was getting let go of her house, like that, all this stuff was like, none of that worked for me. But there were parts of it that I thought could work if written better. So the way this ends, it goes out with a whimper. It doesn't even bother me.
No, and I mean, and it's unfortunate because I feel like, especially with GH, you do not see characters that are in a same-sex relationship. It doesn't seem for very long on the show.
Right.
Anything with Brad and Lucas. I mean, a lot of that happens off camera.
Right.
Uh, you know, and I mean, I guess the most we saw of them was during the whole baby swap storyline.
Right.
And then, when's the last time we saw Brad? Lucas, we only saw him pop in briefly for Bobby's funeral.
Right.
And so now just to see, Christina and Blaze, for Christina, who's already been kind of in various relationships, and yes, she's been in relationships with men and she's been in relationships with women. Yes, that is true. So if, they want to say, and what the show is viewing her character as bi, that is a valid view to have. But it's still, you know, the show has teased many different relationships with Christina that have just kind of just fizzled. And it's just a shame, let's have a same-sex relationship on a soap that is just a same-sex relationship on a soap. And we're just seeing that, and it is just part of everyday life,
Right.
and it can be long-term and enduring and have the same hassles that anybody else in any other kind of relationship would have.
Yeah. They're not doing it. They're not writing it. So that's just there's not none of the soaps are. So they're not writing it. So I don't know what's going on. We're getting a backlash or going backwards in time, but all the soaps are lacking. So I don't know what that is. So having Blaze get cut out, I was like, wow, that's very interesting. It was so abrupt. And that was it. Um, so I don't know. I don't know what they're I'm gonna plan. So now I'm gonna watch to see what their plan is for Christina. It seems to be revenge. And so that leads into this umbrella story, which is they killed the baby. The baby is dead. The baby is dead.
Kill the baby.
Killed the baby. My whole thing was after all of that, it felt like again, it felt like an unsatisfactory ending. But I guess they're trying to say, let's forget about it now, move on to something else. Because you got Lulu waking up apparently.
Yeah.
They have to be going full steam ahead with that, Frank. We'll get to that later. But I was like, all of a sudden I'm like, oh wow, that's really happening. And you have Jason and Sunny acting like they're back in business together.
They just kind of just fell back into the usual dynamic. As soon as Sonny got back on his meds. Boom.
That's it. And but the part that got me interesting though, is I like the Kate's Ava stuff. I actually like it. But also, Molly is like, wait a minute, Christina. When she looked at those pictures, when Ava talked to Molly first, that was good. I get, more West again. She's like Jane Elliott. You put her anywhere, it's just amazing. But her like saying, wait a minute, because she was right. Ava was minding her own business. Christina came to her. No, it doesn't matter, Frank. She may have sent her a subpoena or whatever, but the whole point is you're 8 months pregnant, bitch, and you're starting something with somebody. That's what I'm saying. But Ava didn't go to her house, didn't confront her. If you go by those pictures, it's like, wait, and I love that Jagger was like, wait a minute, look at the pictures a different way. And that whole point is that it's like she came ready for bear. She did. She couldn't help
She,
herself.
it's very true. But certainly the way that Ava's portraying herself in that situation, not accurate as well.
Well,
She's
she's
making
trying to hide stuff. She was trying to
Oh,
hide.
yes. So, we can't just say that, that, oh, like Christina's on the wrong. Ava she does what Ava does, and she will attack just as well verbally and just make those cutting comments, which did
Yes.
nothing to de-escalate the situation for sure.
However, comma Frank, she wasn't trying to hurt Christina. She's trying to save her. She wants her baby. It's all about Ava. Remember, it's all about her. So she wants Avery. Christina yelling at her. She told her to leave. Need to go. She didn't go. She came at her and said, I'm going to tell you about Connie. I was saying, she go at her. I'm sorry. You look at it, you see how angry Christina is. So it's kind of funny to see Molly go, hmm. When he was talking, I kind of, anyone TJ is like, hmm.
True, but if you were to take pictures of Ava's face, it's conveniently from behind Ava when she's talking about her drunk mother and her no good father. Ava's not all smiles and roses. She is just as
Well, no.
surly as Christina is as well.
And Ava said, remember, she said to Kate's, pay me as a victim would be really hard. No, she said it. Remember, she said it. She did say it. He goes, that would be really hard to make for people believe with me as a victim. Like, Ava's not dumb. Ava's in safe mode, but Ava didn't kill the baby. I'm sorry, she didn't.
Well, no, she didn't kill the baby, but whether she's talked to Molly or TJ or Dante, it's always, oh, she just came at me and she just wouldn't stop. It's not about like I was a bitch to her as well too, and I gave as good as I got, and that didn't help the situation. So it's right. I mean, she did not throw Christina out that window. And it
Didn't.
was purely an accident that bag was still there, and it was not intentional. There was no malice behind that at all at either. So yes.
That part she has said. That part is true. And people in chat are like, yeah, Ava did not push Christina. She didn't. That's all I'm saying. It really was an accident. Ava was lying about because she was afraid about the John Kate stuff. She admitted that. She's like, I don't everybody know, but now everybody knows that they were together. So because they went through the building. So everybody knows now.
And it doesn't help that Molly and TJ, they already have their own issues with Christina as well
Yes.
too.
That's why I
So
love it. That's why I love
especially
it.
when Ava really lays on the heavy side of Christina, just being all up in the business. I mean, it already plays to the fears and doubts that they have about Christina in their head.
But my thing is, and I will stick to it. I don't care, Frank. I love you. I'm sticking to it though. Christina went to the house, went to the hotel room. That was her first mistake.
Yeah, I mean,
She went there ready for bear. She went there upset. That was her first mistake.
yeah, I mean, how many people do think about going to visit somebody in a hotel room and thinking, "Oh, I'm going to be falling out the window"? Nobody ever thinks that. Nobody ever makes that forward leap. Even I'd be hard pressed to be thinking like, I'm going to go talk to somebody in this hotel room. Oh, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't because I could be falling out the window.
That's like shots back and forth like we are. But like, I'm with Shanika. Christina put herself in danger. She's reckless. That's what she does. She's like her father. That's what she does. They keep telling us how much they're alike, her and her father. It's been fun seeing, and now obviously, Frank, you are Frank. Sonny's back on his meds,
Yeah,
so he's acting rationally, and I love just talking to Christina. He's like, I can't do anything right. I can't touch Ava right now. They've been expecting it, but she's still acting like, no, I want this bitch gone.
yeah. You should have talked to Sonny 2 weeks ago about this because then Sonny would have been off the meds and on board. Like,
Exactly, and on it.
he's gotta go.
Yes.
Bad,
Uh,
sorry, bad timing there, Christina. It's
Katie's all the crap windows of the MC, and I'm like, okay, the part that I chuckled, Frank, when Cardi finds out they didn't call me, they didn't call me. I'm like, yeah, why did they call her own? How does she not know her own?
that is true.
I had to laugh. I was like, yeah, that is kind of weird. They didn't call and tell you something like this happened.
Yeah, like that would be like one of the first calls, like after the authorities have been notified.
Yeah,
Get Carly, get Olivia on the phone.
right. Because I'm telling the folks, I'm telling you, I've stayed at many hotels. it's hard to fall through a window.
I mean, she picked up that momentum. When you trip on a bag, man, you were going fast.
No, those windows. I've tried. I'm just kidding. Um, Chris Matthew says it was an accident, but the reason Christina tripped her bag because Ava grabbed her and Christina yanked herself. Needed to put her hands on her. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. Christina still came. So she came ready. She came looking for a fight. To me, that's not to me. No, I don't think it's victim blaming, Beauty. Victim blaming is if it is a whole different situation. Christina got a subpoena, testified. She could have done whatever she had to do on her own. What was she expecting Ava to do if she went over there? You're right, Christina. Oh, I'm going to drop you out of. I'm just like, wait, what? Come on, folks. Let's be real. What did she think she was going to do?
It would not. I don't think those two characters could have had a low key civil discussion about that particular topic.
Thank you. That's my point. Right? Frank just made my point. That's my whole point. It's like it was going to end in some kind of disaster of some sort. I'm not. I don't think Christina's a full victim either. She's a victim of falling out those crappy windows and that whole thing and falling into the thing. But yeah, and I'm sorry, and Ava didn't push her. She barely touched her. I'm sorry. It wasn't from the way they shot it. She kind of grabbed and she yanked back and tripped over the bag. It was like she went, go this way, Christina. It was like she tripped, she lost her balance. The bag was there and she went backwards and fell through, which should have happened at a hotel. I mean, windows are usually stronger than that. They're like double pane. I mean, but I know Beauty's like, just because you talk to somebody with your hands on them, I'm sorry, Beauty. If someone comes at me over and over again and threatens to change my life and say I'm going to tell them about you killing somebody, I might put hands on you. It might. But that's the point is you came into my space. Christina, the Christina came into her space. And that means that Ava has a right to defend herself however she needs to. Sorry. I disagree with you guys completely. I think everybody's being cutesy in the chat. No, I'm sorry. Christina came there for a reason. She didn't come there to talk nicely to her and just have a nice conversation over tea about this. Frank said exactly what Frank said. I agree with everything Frank just said. She came over because she's impulsive, she's upsetting, and she was upset. She went to Natalia also, remember? Went to her and went off on her. This is something that Christina does repeatedly. This is something Christina has been known to be reckless in the past. That's why TJ and Molly were having issues with her. That's why what's her name? Fucking I almost called her by her Santa Barbara name. Nancy Grand's character. What's her name? She says, Alexis, you shouldn't do this. That's the whole point. We knew all this was going to end in tragedy. We knew this was going to end in tragedy. Christina is impulsive. She does this. That's what I'm saying. So we're gonna have to agree, disagree, Beauty, and a few others. I don't think Ava's wrong. Sorry, I just don't. I think this is very much she didn't get physical with Natalia, but the whole point is she went over there again to somebody's place where they are. It wasn't that Ava went to her place and they're a fight or an initial spot. Christina made plans, pregnant, to go and put herself in that position for anything to happen. So I don't know. It's just my thing is Ava, maybe she touched her, did not push her out the window. And I'm sorry, the window was faulty. Why nobody talking about that? Why aren't Carly and Olivia being taken to task for that?
It's like, well, because they're practically family, so we're not going to sue family.
Right.
But if they were not related whatsoever,
right.
Oh man, you could bet that somebody be like, we got to sue that hotel for these horrible windows.
The windows are horrible. They're not even talking about that. They're like right, no liability. Yeah. What if Jason was something? What if Nita still owned the hotel? They'd sue her, probably, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
And Shanika says it to make it worse. She knew she was carrying somebody else's baby. It's like putting your hand in the lion's and expecting not to be bit. I said, Frank just said it. Frank, you said it earlier. No outcome is going to be good.
Yeah. It's and it's whether it's Christina and Blaze doing the Hilton interview and not talking to Molly ahead of time about any how they want to handle talking about the baby, or even Christina and Molly and Christina saying, "Oh, there's just never was time to call you." But then we also have before she goes to the hotel room, we do have the scenes with Christina and Molly, and Molly's walking her through how to handle this subpoena from Ava. And
Yeah.
at no point does Christina say, I'm going to go talk to her, which Molly could have said, that's a terrible idea. You know, you're pregnant and not just your baby, it's our baby. Let's, you just chill here. Don't do it. But Molly does not, or Christina does not say anything then either, and then just goes and does her own thing, which,
See, Frank's making my point more and more for you guys. I'm sorry. He's bringing the point that Christina does this, whether it's admirable or not. But they go, once Ava touched her, became the aggressor. I completely disagree with that. Completely. I do. I disagree with that. If someone was coming at me, whether it's verbally or whatever, and not getting out of my face, she asked her to leave, and she didn't. Need to go, Christina. She was like booking her papers, and Christina got her face. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think she asked her to go. She didn't go. She kept going. She kept running her mouth, kept going, and she threatened her with serious allegations. And yes, and then she touched her. Yeah, I probably would have done the same thing. Sorry, I just think, but she did not push her out the window. And the fact is that she came there to hurt Ava on some level. Maybe not the way Ava says it, obviously. She was lying through her teeth. But she did come there. The one thing Ava was correct, she was up there and she was upset. She didn't invite her over there.
Yeah.
And you're right. She's carrying someone else's baby. It's just carrying someone else's baby. She didn't think about any of that.
No, well, it's also, I mean, it doesn't help that Christina at that time is also wrestling with those feelings.
That's you.
Where she's feeling like the baby is hers, sort of, even though it's really Molly and TJ's. She's getting lost in all that as well. So I'm sure that plays into her judgment as well. She's not even thinking about Molly and TJ. This is just my baby.
My baby. And she really felt. So I'm like, so I don't know. I just think, I don't know. You guys, we're gonna have to agree, disagree. You guys got me all worked up here in the chat. We all worked up. I'm here in San Francisco having a good time, and you got me all worked up, you guys. You guys got me worked up.
That's what we like. We like a good worked up.
Sorry, what, Frank?
We like a good worked up James Lott Jr.
I guess so. I'm like, you guys are working me out. I'm like, I'm on Ava's side. Sorry, kids. I think all you guys are wrong. You're not, and that's just how it is. So, but she felt you. But I'm like saying, what happened to the people about the windows? The windows. Why are we not talking about the windows? She fell through these faulty windows.
Yeah, it's and now seeing like that's before they saw the photos. Like my Christina was so adamant about those photos. I gotta have those photos. Before Molly was really right there by Christina's side. Like, that this is tragic. But then, the way that scene plays out of her looking at the photos as well, and Christina's just ranting and raving about Ava, and Christina is just focusing on the baby bump. I just felt like at that moment, Christina's like, I'm not, Christina, why did you do this? I feel like my support for you is diminishing because look what you've done.
I love that scene. I loved that scene. And I thought, because when they were playing it and she was talking, and Hogan was just looking at the picture, I'm like, and the same with TJ. Once he went to Ava, and I don't know what again, I don't know what you expected from Ava and TJ. I don't know what you expected from her either. But it's kind of like, I mean, it's like, and he started to think, because he didn't like Christine in the first place. So he's already, like you said, Frank, he's already like thinking other stuff. And Christina, kids, would you be on Christina's side if she decided to keep the baby? She had a contract. Would you be on her side if she said, never mind, if she gave birth to that child and the baby lived? Would you say people be on the same side as Christina? I think that's a big. We have to talk about that. That's the whole point. Was that it was she had a contract. She was feeling close to the baby. She's trying to get her mother in the middle of it. And Lexi's like, I can't be in the middle of this. I mean, I told you guys not to do this. I
Well,
felt
yeah.
when Alexis and TJ had that talk. We talked about it once before on the show already. But when they had that talk, I was on like, wow, I'm on Alexis' side. Like, I told you not to do this. I knew it wouldn't be good. These are both my daughters. So I'm like,
Yeah, especially I kind of lost Christina's side of it when it they were playing it as like Christina was going to be the arbiter to Molly and TJ to decide like I will decide if you guys are your relationship is solid enough for me to be able to give you this baby. Like what who Christina, who are you? Like Molly and TJ, you made the agreement. It wasn't that you would stipulate, how in love or how connected Molly and TJ would be. It's like, no, no,
right.
no. This is the deal.
What's the question? Why is Alexis helping Christina realize the baby is mine, not hers? That's the problem. She's trying to tread a line. I have children. I have two daughters. It would be very hard, admitting it, it would be very hard for me to take sides, even though there's the law. And Alexis, like the law, Alexis said, the law says this. But she's like, personally, she wants to be there for both her daughters. It's really hard. So I'm just saying that's why I'm saying I understand Alexis's position. It's not easy. But Alexis in the beginning was cautioning them not to do it. And the kids decided to do it anyway, which adult children have a right to do. They do it what they want. And they're going to ask the parents, well, whose side are you on? And why? It's like it was not fair to Alexis because she was like, I told you guys it's going to be tough. So I totally get it. It's not easy. So I'm Team Alexis on this one too. Sorry, kids. I'm Team Alexis on this one also. Because it would be hard for me if one of my daughters were going through this.
And the time and the place, especially as everybody was making clear in those scenes that Christina was incredibly fragile in those moments, right
Right.
after the surgery and all that stuff.
Right.
The time to not start getting into semantics and truth telling is not right there with Christina in that fragile situation. That is for like once Christina is out, she's recovering, then we help Christina kind of unpack the experience and her feelings and try to see it more from a bigger perspective. But I can understand Alexis not in that moment going, well, Christina, it really wasn't your
Right.
baby.
Yeah. Right. So I don't know. I'm just saying. You guys are still going on about the time. We moved on from Ava and Christina at this point. We're still talking about it. I already told you I'm Team Ava, so it doesn't matter. You can't convince me anything, so it doesn't matter. But my thing is, we had that problem going into this, so that was already happening. But then it doesn't even matter, kids. It doesn't even matter at all because they killed the baby. And Frank and I were talking. The way Homeboy said it, it was just like he passed the mayonnaise. I was just like, wait, we know the baby's gone. I'm like, what? I don't know about you guys, but it took me like I had to go back and rewind again. Like, did you just say the baby's dead? It was just such a weird, like, low way they said it, Frank.
There are ways that GH can be so dismissive of a character death,
Yeah,
whether it's a baby we never really met, but is,
right.
we've known through Christina as existing, or like Brando when he gets hooked and he's brought in and it just kind of brought him in. Like, well, he's dead. We didn't really, there was not some of the usual soap buildup where people are going to be, looking in, or could there be some time for recovery or people getting a chance to say goodbye? Nope. It's just matter of fact, it's done, which I mean, I guess it's, more like real life, I suppose, but holy cow, it just played so just like,
It's so weird. I was like,
yeah.
like, okay. But I will say this, folks, after all this getting me all hyped up and everything, after all this, there have been some great performances, I will say. And I mean, we knew that would happen. I mean, if you kill a baby, of course, the stuff coming out of it. They are giving TJ, I mean, Taj Blue, he really is acting his ass off on this one. I will give it to him. We don't see that very often from a male perspective. We're really seeing it. Also, I want to give points to Aunt Stella coming in, and Renee Watson's always good, but just you believe she's an auntie. You believe like she's a matriarch of a family coming in and really being there for him because I'm sorry, kids, to her detriment, I want to say that this is Shady Sunday, but I want to say this with love. Tanisha Harper, who plays his mother Jordan, is beautiful. I mean, I've seen her in person. She just glides across the screen. You know, she's beautiful. She's not TJ's mother. I'm sorry. To me, I'm having a hard time seeing her as TJ's mother. And I know she's trying, but I felt more in the scenes with Stella and TJ than I did with her and TJ. I just did. Stella comes in, she quotes the Bible, she sounds like an older, she brings in Irene, like she brings them like she's like a true aunt. She's a true aunt. And those scenes were like, and then with Curtis, we get to finally see him with Curtis. So I'm like, where's Curtis? Like this whole thing. It's Uncle Curtis. I enjoyed that for how sad that was.
And what I did like is that and even Curtis and Stella talk about this after they leave the room, where it's Curtis like he really liked how she nudged them back together. And Stella, while I feel like I love her that she was also trying to do what's best for the people that she loves, but also could be a realist in that moment, knowing in her role in what she does as a patient advocate that those kind of losses are tough for couples to endure, and some do not make it because of it. And so she's like, I nudged them, but I'm also a realist, and I hope they make it through, but some people don't.
Yeah, I love that. I did. I agree with that also. And I just thought, and I have to say, and A&E, your A&E, sorry, A&E, I have to agree. The girl who plays Molly, I'm actually liking her performances for what it's worth and what this is. I'm enjoying her kind of restrained performance of I'm mourning, I'm upset, but I don't really want to feel it heavily. Everybody grieves differently, like Stella said, everybody grieves differently. Um, the whole thing about naming the child, oh, that must be hard. I mean, that must be. I mean, I just can't even imagine. Um, I'm literally really enjoying, and they lost a child before with the
Yeah.
other chick. So to me, this is realistic. To me, I would say this part of them, of her not wanting to be there, I think it is realistic, and I'm enjoying her performance.
And I can't imagine that kind of pain
Oh,
where
I can't.
you, even though they hadn't settled on a name, but now you have to continue further with that process of getting closer identifying with your baby,
Yeah.
only to be saying goodbye at that same time. That's got to be incredibly hard for any couple that has lost a child like that.
Uh, and her and Alexis, I mean, well, Nestle brought both her children. I mean, being there with Christina, being there for Molly. I mean, her and Sonny. I mean, it was Sam coming in there. I mean, it was just like, and Dante. And I've actually enjoyed all of it. I know some folks were upset because they said that because Sam lost a baby, of course, so she should talk to Christina about it or whatever. And to me, it doesn't matter. I felt like everybody was doing a good job basically in this storyline that was kind of like after all of this, the baby's dead. I can feel like after all this, the baby's dead. So I was upset about that. But I thought this was really good. And Chandra said, oh, everybody's liking this Molly. Sandra says, very realistic black dynamics. Yes, it's very realistic. Marshall's off the show. So he's not coming back. He's off the show. So that's why
Is
he
that
was
the show or just off contract?
he's off the show.
Really?
I heard he's off the
Oh,
show. So I mean again, I don't know what this writing regime will do. But I feel like that's why he wasn't there.
yeah.
They bring people back all the time for stuff. And they didn't bring him back. That's
Oof.
his grandson. So I mean, he didn't bring it back.
That is a bummer on
Yeah,
that one.
I know. I agree with you completely on that one too. Um, Baby's name will be Irene. We won't be surprised, Laura. I thought the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, the
Um,
way they were dropping that name in, I felt
yeah,
like that was just like an obvious
yeah,
kind of nod to that.
yeah. And yes, Rick's coming back, so that's gonna be something in there with that. And Frank, there's this whole. I know people say I don't really listen to rumors, but there's like some rumor that the other baby's still alive for real. That'll be the twist.
The other
The original chick, that baby's
oh
alive.
really? Are
I
we
hope
able to
not.
do
I
that?
don't want that. I don't want that.
That seems so crazy to me that they would do that.
Yeah, and that was like 4 writing regimes ago, you guys. So I mean, that's something totally. I mean, who knows? I hope that's not true. I hope it's not true. I don't mind if they went further and had a baby on their, like she gets pregnant
Yeah.
and have a baby. Christina clearly they made it so she can still have kids too. So I think that's so that they're well, her uterus is clean and she maybe Molly can have a miracle baby.
I mean,
Um,
it does feel like if you're bringing Rick back in, that is support to support Molly. Uh,
yes,
while Rick and Sonny seem to be at least in a good spot when we last saw Rick on the show, them both being advocates for their daughters who are at odds could definitely kind of re-spark a lot of old sibling feelings towards the two of them.
I agree. I totally agree with that. But I hope that's not the twist. I hope not. I don't want that twist. Um,
Would you have thought though, James, 6 months ago, as we were kind of talking about how lackluster this whole baby storyline was, and we did not care about it, that it would have ended with Christina flying out a window at the Metro Court?
no, not at all.
No
That was
way.
amazing. I love it. Thank you, GH, for that. I would never have thought we were talking this much about the baby. We were talking about this storyline 6 months ago. Then you guys can be all worked up about Ava. And I never thought in a million grillion years I'd be talking about this much about this child. So no, Frank, I did not expect that. So I want to move on from that because I'm just like we talked about that long enough.
Well, for sure. I mean, and I guess it could tie into if you want to talk about this next, where we end the week where Christina's getting discharged and she's getting arrested.
I was like, what? I started clapping. I went, oh my God, that's hilarious. So yeah, there you go. And so let's go. So this ties in. So that kind of wraps up that whole thing. So let's go into um
Before one last thing for that is we see Alexis and Molly at the end where Alexis is trying to say to Molly, it's like, hey, because Molly's like, I don't think it's a good idea if I see Christina right now because I feel like we know where Christina's mind
yeah.
is heading towards how she feels about Christina.
She
Uh,
was right there though. Was got
yeah.
arrested.
But Alexis, it's all. Yeah, I feel like Alexis is really. I mean, certainly Molly or Christina is the one that went through the physical trauma of all this. But I feel like she's definitely leaning more towards Christina's side in that moment. Like, hey, let's just all be here for each other. Where it's like, Molly, I can see he's got a point of view where it's like, why did Christina do all this?
I know.
She killed her baby, mom. She killed the baby.
I know. I'm like, I'm looking forward to this next chapter. So I'm assuming Rick's coming back to help her. And that's the whole thing. It's gonna be a whole thing. Sunny Christina versus Rick and Molly. I have a feeling it's TJ. Jagger has crossed so many lines. This leads into that. And I love it. I love that we have a character obsessed with bringing down Sunny. Why not? We should. Why not? There should be more out there obsessed with who've done things that Sunny's done things to. At least Jagger has some really interesting reasons why he's after Sunny. The fact that he has Scott on his side, Scott has total reasons. He's never liked Sunny. That's always been a consistent. He had Anna on his side, but now Jagger's pushing Anna away, which I kind of like also. I don't mind that. And then we got Jack Brennan, who I love so much. I love that character so much. Him and Anna are oh my God, he's so it's just like she's like, oh, she was supposed to strangle him. And Laura wasn't like a fly. She's like, he's charming, isn't he? I love it. She's not a dummy either. But she was like, oh, okay. He's like, your reputation precedes you. I went to these little stories back in the day. Okay. And then she was like, find Valentine. And Anna was like, Anna is a hot mess right now, Luther. She is. I love it. I love it.
I mean, we need Val. I mean, the show's better with Valentine on the canvas.
I agree. I agree.
And especially if now that Sonny and Jason know that Valentine's the one that did the initial messing.
They said, see, talking about going fast.
Yeah.
But you got Scotty getting snacks for homeboy, taking to Spoon Island. Then he jumped on snacks. I was laughing.
What kind of snacks do you like? Nothing refrigerated. I'll just grab us some donuts and some coffee.
That was hilarious. I just go on, King Shriner. But then Jason shows up and he run. I love it. And drop the snacks.
Like, why drop the snacks? Just
Right,
take it with you.
yeah, I'm with you. But what made me happy was again going full steam ahead. He told it was Valentine.
It's I mean, I know that Jagger's time in the show is so short. We already know the actor's head
Yeah.
knife, which is a bummer. Uh, I You're right that Sonny does need people that are against him, but the thing that always frustrates me though too is that it's uh like we've seen so many other times. You know, as Diane Miller loves to remind anytime they interact with the PCBD, is like many people have tried to come for Sonny and nothing has happened. So it's just in one way, it's like yet another character that is just going to be on here, and we took him from something that was kind of nuanced and well kind of balanced, and right now we've kind of really ramped up his kind of like chasing his white whale mentality, where it's like everything else is falling by the wayside, and he is only just got eyes on taking down Sonny to everything else, blowing up his whole other life and exclude. Go
Don't
ahead.
mind. I don't mind it. Love it. Love it. I
But
don't mind.
but it's like, but I also like, but it's like another beat where somebody's going after Sonny and loses, and great. It's like I would love to see somebody either stick around longer that could really kind of stick it to Sonny in some way, or see Sonny kind of lose a little bit, because I feel like Sonny always comes away as untouchable in these kind of situations where somebody's trying to take him down. It ends up never working out.
No, you're right. I mean, everything you're saying, I might disagree. Everything you're saying is
Yeah.
correct, Frank, but I like it.
But you're still here for it. I understand. It's it's like
Hey, everything you're saying is true. Like, I can't, like, I'm like, it's like saying the sky is blue. I'm like, Frank, you're right. The sky is blue today. You're absolutely correct. But I like the
it's a
craziness.
tasty pizza. It's tasty pizza, and I'm gonna still keep eating it because it tastes good.
Exactly. Exactly. Everything you're saying, like today, everything you're saying, Frank, I agree with everything you're saying. I'm like, no, you're right. Absolutely, you're absolutely right. But here's the problem, and I think the show doesn't know what to do with this. And I think it's a show problem. If Sonny loses, I think they view it as that he needs to leave the show. I think that's what they view. I think seriously, I think he always comes out on top. That's the point. And I think that they don't know how to write somebody who loses and keeps them on the show. I think that's the problem. So it's a larger issue. So that's why this Jagger thing will flame out again, like everybody else, because that's what they do. So you're not wrong, Frank. I mean, everything you're saying is correct, but I think that's the problem. Having him lose would be great, and we see him being an underdog and try. They're not. I don't think they're interested in telling that story.
Yeah.
I just don't think they are. I mean, yeah, Michael was the closest to take Sonny down, and Michael didn't do it.
It would be the most seismic shift on the show to
Yes,
put Sonny in that kind of position.
yes. But having people dip in his heels, I love it. Why the fuck not? I just think it's, and I love Ava and Jagger together. I love them together. They have great chemistry. And I think it's a shame that he's going off the show. He's really good.
Yeah.
Again, we know Frank. They're cast heavy and all this stuff and all that. But I wish he would stay on the show. And I think I think Adam Harrington has done a great job and but again, we had writing changes. So I think it's why it's his character up and down. But him being a little unhinged, I love it. Why not? I love it. Why
Yeah, I
not?
mean, if having Valentine come back and now having Sonny know that Valentine's the one that started this, I mean, then we lose Jagger, but we get to see Sonny going toe to toe against Valentine, which would be very interesting with Jack kind of, operating in that moral gray ground, where he's trying not to let Anna bust him by being too overt in his actions, but I'm sure he would be siding with Valentine to get rid of Sonny.
Yes. Veronica Anderson brings up a good point. Wait till Anna finds out. She just played again. She already played the other time. She played again. But see, they have to bring back Valentine because you got to bring back Charlotte because
Yeah.
Lulu's coming back. So they got to bring Charlotte back. That's the whole point. And Lulu and Lucky are coming back. So they got to bring Charlotte back. So that's kind of do you bring Valentine back also? And I'll be curious to see how they play him. Be
Yeah.
curious.
Because it's a bummer because I have loved how the Laura Valentine relationship is as matured on the time over the show, especially with Lulu gone in a coma. uh, where before it was a lot more frosty. Uh, and with Lulu and Nakoma, I mean, I feel like Laura and Valentine came to a really good place, especially because of Charlotte. To see Lulu wake up to that, to see Laura being, pals in a sense with Valentine because of Charlotte. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of a lot of relationships in different situations when Lulu wakes up than when she went into the coma.
So yes, folks, it has not been confirmed when and if he is leaving. I had heard that he was leaving, and so he's not on contract, which means he can't be reoccurring forever because he's actually in a storyline that's, I think, very specific. It's gonna have to run its course at some point.
You mean
Uh,
Valentine?
no, Jagger.
Oh yeah.
Adam Harrington. I mean, he's got to run its course at some point. So it's like, so I know it started as a rumor, but I've heard some stuff outside of X and Twitter, John. So um I don't give my sources, but I have heard outside of X and Twitter some stuff. So, but he's not on contract, which of course doesn't mean anything. People have been reoccurring for a long time, but this storyline is going to come to a head at some point. Because
And,
it's heading that way.
and it's moving fast.
Moving fast, folks. It's
Where it's like, oh, I'm
fast.
going to put this pharmacist in custody. Oh, hey, we'll move him over to Spoon Island. Uh-oh, Jason's already found him. So that plan is gone. Now what do we do?
I thought we were going to see Spoon Island, Frank. I was like, we're going to see Spoon Island. I was like, we're going to see Spoon Island. Like, oh my God.
We
But
still don't know who bought it. Like that
I
mysterious
don't
person
either.
bought it. Like they haven't said who that person is.
Unless it was Valentine. That'd be
Huh?
fun. He buys it back or whatever. I mean, who knows? I don't know. So it's who is Pokemon, Brennan or Valentine? Who's Pokemon? But that story, well, I heard that storyline. The Pikeman's done. I think Pikeman's all. They cleaned that up. There's no more. I think that's done too. Um, so they found a way to keep Brennan, which I have no problem with. Him and Carly are good. I have no problem with that.
Yes.
Anna interrupting them, hilarious.
Uh,
I have no problem with that.
I do like how Jack is just so like, well, how do you, way to go. How do you feel about ruin everybody else's night?
And,
That's it.
so do you like how like, what do you do? Well, you see what I had going on. You're like, did Valentine do this to you or whatever? When you were to get you to talk, I was like laughing. It was. I just think that guy has charisma, and at least they're keeping him. Someone's asked me how do I like to direct? Do I like the direction new writing? It's too soon to tell. I mean, it's too soon to tell. We're literally just getting this stuff, so I have no comment yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess we see what happens. For me, I think the biggest one will be the Willow stuff because her 180 to being back now. I want to be back a nurse. I mean, at least organically, they made it work with helping Christina and
Yeah,
in the moment. I mean, I could see that. I have no idea what the show wants to do with Drew and Willow and Nina and that whole kind of thing. It's really messy between Drew and Willow the way they're playing it, and I want to see more of it, but I just don't know if you're taking reasons away from Willow to be around Drew. Are we? Is that them trying to move away from that?
yeah, and that's see that made me think that's what it is. They want to end the whole thing and just move on to something else, and have Nina and Drew go full steam ahead, but have the Willow thing come out. And she's like, "No, I'm done though. We're not doing it. We just kissed that one like." And then her and Michael look different at each other. Yeah, I think that maybe they might use it as something for them, but I don't think Drew and Willow are going to sleep together. I don't think so for some reason. I don't think they are. I think this regime is not going to do it.
It doesn't seem like it now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
uh, yeah. Brennan has chemistry. I like Brennan and Carly. I mean, I think him and
Well,
Anna are funny together, but I think him and Carly have some chemistry.
it'd be one thing if Valentine was never coming back to the show,
All
then
right.
I could see them playing maybe a Carly Anna Jack triangle.
Yes.
But if Valentine's coming back, you want to see Anna kind of working on that stuff.
Also, side note, we had double duty this week. I was watching The Bold and the Beautiful, and I'm like, what is Heather doing on The Bold and the Beautiful? Oh, it's Ailey Mills returned as Pam Douglas on this week's Bold and the Beautiful. She was there for Danny Romalotti singing Rock On.
Oh, rock.
Frank, they crossed over Cricket and Danny from Y&R and had Michael Damian with cut to camera stuff at the Forrester Mansion singing Rock On.
Oh,
Most cringeworthy. I mean, Tammy liked it. Govea liked it. I was like, oh my God, why am I watching this? But Ailey Mills was on, she's doing Wally Kurth duty, was on both shows this last week or so. So, yeah,
I,
Frank.
I gotta imagine that was better than, I'm not thrilled with her being back on GH.
No, it was
Like,
better. Trust me, it was better.
uh,
But trust me, GH was better.
ugh.
I don't like it, but trust me, it was better than his being one beautiful appearance.
It's, I thought we were done with this Heather storyline.
Nope.
And that's the part of me that feels like, oh, now we're really seeing what what Chris
Yes.
was really in. It's like, I want to keep going forward with this Heather storyline.
Yes.
Uh, uh, uh.
Yes. She did look good. Yeah, Veronica, she did look good because she wasn't crazy. She looked good. Yeah, she looked good. But yes, no, this now we get back to Heather again. And and she got advice from Elizabeth, and her and Laura were talking, like, all her Weber girls, and stuff. I'm torn with the storyline. I don't dislike it. I don't like it. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm still waiting to see if they're gonna pull the trigger. It's all been talk so far, Frank. It's all been talk. I want to see if they pull the trigger on it.
Yeah, it's like I feel like they have to at this point because you had kind of closed it off in a way where we were fine. Everybody was fine.
Yeah.
Laura had said her piece to her. Heather had said her piece to Laura. Laura said, I hear you. We're done. It's all good. I felt like we closed the book on this. And then all of a sudden this week, here she is in the hospital again. I'm like, oh no, here comes the book. It's starting open again.
It is.
Scotty comes barreling in saying, hey, we could take it. We could take them. Let's get some money. Let's do this. And there we go. I mean, and then it all plays into like the worst writing that I don't enjoy for Portia, where they just make her just so over the top in the way she is about this other stuff.
Oh yeah.
As a co-chief resident of a hospital, like I like uh that her daughter checked her for a second on that. It's like, hey, you're co-ed resident, chief resident on this. You can't be like that out in front of everybody at the hospital.
Yeah. Trina was like, "Come on, girl. You're chief of staff. Come on, girl. Pull it together. I'm a grown woman. I can handle it." Which I liked. Because again, Trina's kind of floundering. They're not doing much with her. We know that these little tidbits because I don't really care about them so much. Joss and Dexter basically slept together and back together basically on some level. We got Geo, worrying about Sunny liking him for doing the gallery, whatever. But Trina don't know what she's doing.
Side note, I admittedly thought we were seeing the end of Geo when he had that little lunch scene with Brooklyn and Lois. And he's like, oh, I don't think I'm going to get those kind of opportunities that I thought. I thought it was going to be him changing his mind and going back to New York to be in the go back to the other school that he left. It's like,
I
oh,
agree.
these opportunities aren't here. I'm just going to leave now.
Right. But he can do that. I don't think. I mean, I think they're invested in him. I think. But I
I
guess we'll
feel
find out. I guess we'll
if it's
find
for
out.
Trina, then it makes sense.
Yes.
Because otherwise, I don't know what Trina's doing. Then you're right. Then she's truly floundering. If there's
It's
no,
like, so will she be there for Ava? Maybe, I guess. But that's it. She has nothing going on.
I mean, I did like. I'm aching for a scene between Portia and Trina where Trina's just like, I get you're my mommy, you're mama bear, and you're worried about me, and you're being protective, but you got to just slow your roll. I am a grown woman right now, and I can also take care of myself too. So I'm glad we did see the shot of the episode, the scene of Trina going to talk to Heather herself.
Yes.
Uh, and
Yes.
I wanted it to get back to Portia that happened.
I know.
Just for Trina to be like, no, I needed to do this, and you just need to be cool with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So you're right. They're opening up. Somebody's opening that book up again. We know who it is.
Ugh.
So we'll see what happens there. Um,
But I did like Elizabeth was like when she was like, can you get a hold of this guy? Like, ah. know. I don't know if I should be doing that. I'm just a nurse. It's really not my place. I can get you some extra food from the cafeteria, but yeah,
Right. And that's it. Oh, I don't know. So what am I missing? What do we miss? We're on here an hour and a half. What are we missing?
I don't.
We got everybody, didn't we? I think we got everybody.
I mean, well, we got to see Morgan come back. We got to see.
Oh, yeah, for a minute, yes, for a minute. That was great. Those scenes were good. The
Yeah,
Morgan scenes were good. They were. I thought Brian Craig had great chemistry with Maurice, of course, and it was nice to see him. I wish we didn't know ahead of time. I mean,
yeah.
it's fun just to like all of a sudden he show up, but they tell everything on social media. So actually,
I
I
yeah,
enjoyed.
I did like that it was Sunny. You know, him making the call that, oh wait, something is off, and I need to go talk to Kevin to kind of figure out what the deal is. That it wasn't just somebody kind of, I mean, certainly a lot of stuff was happening around him, but it was Sunny that he ultimately was like, hold on, I don't want to feel like this anymore. So nice to see Kevin have that little scene with Sunny for a second, uh, and see Kevin check in with Alexis. I felt like that was the time when you miss Finn, because I felt like that would have been a Finn and Alexis scene when he checks in on her at the hospital about how she's feeling about, making all the calls to all the family members while Christina is, recovering and stuff. But like that would have been a Finn scene, a Finn and Alexis moment. But we gave it to Kevin, and hey, all right, more Kevin is always welcome.
Well, it was Kevin's birthday.
That's true.
I did a little thing for her. That's kind of cute. So I showed her that, and she's been busy with the kid and all this stuff. So she wanted to celebrate him. So that was good. They acknowledged that.
And teased him with like, you get home early, it might be a little
Yeah.
more.
Woo! Oh, Laura, that's right, girl. It's your man, girl. It's your man. She did say that. I was like, oh, Laura, you got time for all that too? Shit, oh,
Yeah, there you
look at me, things going on. But
go.
I mentioned Laura and them earlier. I said that Lulu was waking up basically, and Laura got that message. It's about Lulu. I mean, we know she's waking up,
Yeah,
uh, but we don't know who's going to be cast. It's not Emmy Riley, kids. She's like, nope, I've not been approached. It's like they told her no. They told her
Really,
no.
Berman's still acting or no?
She is. I saw she was on an episode of Gilmore Girls. She was on the reboot. She was on an episode of something else. So she's doing some acting. I don't know. I'd love to have her back. I mean, that was my Lulu. Was Julie Louis Berman. She just said he won 3 Emmys or Chili's for it. I was a fan of her. But I don't know. But I know that Jonathan Jackson is on set, so he's filming.
I'm liking that. Hopefully, I'll be curious to see how quickly we might get Nicholas around as well too.
Yes, Gio could be Brenda's son. But they won't bring up Brenda until the very end when Maurice is like, I'm ready to get off the show. But he already said this. He would love to have Brenda take Sunny off campus. He had said that. Because I'm sorry, folks, Carson's dead. Carly and Sunny, they're dead. They will never be back together, apparently. The actors don't want anybody wants it. They're just like, we'll be friendly parents.
Which is fine with me.
Same here.
We've seen that go around and around enough that I'm like, no, we're good. You don't need to see that anymore. But
No,
like the way, honestly, I am fine right now how Sonny and Carly or Jason and Carly are.
me too.
If they come back together, whatever. I'd rather see give me Carly and Brennan for a while.
I agree with that. I agree.
Yeah. I'm in no rush to see them hook up. If that is supposed to be sort of end game, I don't
Yeah.
know. No rush to see that. And if it never happens, I am fine with that too.
And they're bringing back Emma Samms as Holly for some reason.
I don't understand that. I mean, I'm welcome to see her back, but I
Not
don't,
great.
because like Tristan has not been on in
No,
a long time.
nope. So I have no idea why yeah.
Yeah, whether he's been busy shooting something else or the show just doesn't have anything, is not interested in writing for him at the moment. I don't know.
I would love to have Ethan back and then we have all the Spencer kids
Oh
now.
man.
And that'd be kind of fun. Then Emma being back would be kind of cool. I mean, that she's the mother of Ethan. And then get her in some shenanigans. That could be fun.
Yeah. I mean, recast him if you need to, but yeah, I'd rather, build up the Spencer family a bit would
Yeah,
be
I
really
agree.
nice. you know?
It's gonna be very cool when they have Lulu and Lucky back. Um, and I guess Nicholas has to come out of jail at some point.
Yeah, and oh, man, if you had Lulu, Lucky, Nicholas, and Ethan, all bringing out different facets of Luke as well as Laura
Yes.
into a modern day, and you just see how that all plays against all the other stuff happening in Port Charles,
Um,
would be fun.
yeah. So I don't know, but I think that's yeah. Carson's done. They're done.
Uh,
Um,
like a
the
Lulu
Lord
Tracy
fucking
scene.
funny. Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry, a Lulu Tracy scene. I'm so jazzed about seeing
I
that.
know, that'll be good too. Laura's to talk to Sunny. I forgot to mention that really briefly about the money, and they're friends. And she was like, "I love you. We've been around since like we were kids, but I will question." And it was fine. And Sunny's back to normal, so he understands. He apologized to her.
Yeah.
Their friendship, they have a friendship, and I like that. And she trusts Jason. So Jason came in. She was like, "You don't lie. You'll say very much." So she's like, "Okay." Love that. So she's in, and she went off on the and Tracy went off on Natalia, which I liked also. Was kind of like, weren't you the one who did blah blah blah? Well, you're gonna hurt the company more. And it was good. She told her about herself. And that was good.
Yeah.
Like, go on, Tracy.
But then of course Lucy comes in, and I did like Tracy, like, you just like this Sunny idea because I don't like it. It's just
I know, dude, I love it. They go way back, of course. I mean, it's a whole history there.
now certainly, yes, there is a lot of mob money aside. There is a lot of history between Sunny and the Quartermains. For
Yes. Oh yeah.
So in this particular moment where Sonny wants to make it a cash investment into a legitimate cast investment
Yeah.
to deception, uh, do you agree with Tracy that like just having any kind of association with even an alleged mobster, clean money or not, is just not good in the long run for
Yeah.
deception?
Of course, this is drama. Of course it is. Of course, it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. It's going to backfire. Of course. And Tracy was like, I told you so. She's going to say, I told you so. She's going to say, I told you guys. And she's going to clean it up. So, of course, it's going to go wrong. Of course. It has
Oh,
to.
I just need.
It just has to. That's how that works.
Oh, I just yeah, Tracy. Yeah, I just need a little like Tracy on the warpath kind of, like give me a little bit of that mixed in with all the other delightful scenes that she has with everybody else.
You folks agree with Tracy 100%. I know, yeah, Tracy's right. Tracy's a smart businesswoman. She's not dumb. She's been on the block a few times. So I agree with Tracy is saying it right. So you should be concerned. I think Lois is right too. I love Sunny. I can, whatever. But I just don't, I want to be careful. I want my daughter to fall into the whole thing. And I agree with them. I totally agree with them completely. Everybody's all Team Tracy. I know we're all Team Tracy. Come on.
Yes, for sure.
Sure, of course. Well, folks, that's it. I'm done talking. I got life to do here in San Francisco. I got weather to get out to and relax.
That's
Uh,
right. And love to find.
that's what I love to find here in San Francisco. No, thank you. Just places.
But don't you leave your heart in San Francisco, James?
Yeah, I left it here 15 years ago when I came back to LA. So you stay here. It's fine. I don't need it. Right. Um. But anyway, so folks, we love you guys. Unfortunately, for the next couple of weeks, will not be on.
James is in demand,
I am.
folks, and
I
people
am.
want to see him in different parts of this country.
We are. So I'm actually traveling the next 2 weekends. I'll be out of town the next 2 weekends. So we'll be back in about a month, basically. But I want to say this because Frank, I did it with the girls, and Frank and I did it once before. If a major thing happens, if something like really major, I will contact Frank, and maybe we'll do one during the week. We've done it before, and it was very successful. The one we did it for in the evening. So if something really big happens, then Frank and I go, Frank, what do you think? We'll see. So stay tuned for that. Just to say, we may do that.
It's like Commissioner Gordon summoning Batman. He just turns on the big GH sign. It flashes into the night sky. And then I swing in like, I'm ready to talk, James. What are we doing?
Exactly. So we'll see. We'll see, folks. We'll see. So you make it silly during the week. So just always stay tuned to GH Mini Spotlight. Always. Frank Brown, where can they find you if they want to?
You can find me on all the social medias at Happy Go Jackie.
Before we
Uh,
leave, we'll get his emails. But also, I want to mention really quick reason why we talked about Johnny Wachter's um, situations. I don't know all the details yet. I heard about it, but all the details. Apparently, they found people who they arrested people who trying to steal his flag. So I don't know all the details. That's why I've not mentioned it. I don't only mention stuff that I know for sure. Because I don't people say James said I don't know enough yet. So, but I did hear there were two or three guys that were picked up and arrested. So I'm not. That's why I've not mentioned things. I don't know all the details. I don't know everything, folks. I don't. I swear I don't know everything. Frank, what is your email? Are you at 300,000 yet, Frank? It's been a couple of weeks.
dun, 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 dun,
Oh my
dun.
God. Frank is at 300,459. Oh my God, Frank. You did it. Oh my, you did it. Like it's a good thing. You did
Hey,
it.
wait,
So, okay,
you
Frank, what are you going to do?
you know, um, gosh, I never thought this day would come, everybody.
I didn't know either.
You have a dream, and then it happens.
300,000. Oh my God. You
You
were
know,
at 28 like 2 weeks ago. So I mean, I'm like totally speechless. I don't even know what to say. I am completely speechless.
yeah.
I don't even know. Frank.
I don't. I mean, I said that I was gonna. At 300,000, it was gonna be my big finale. Man, I don't know, James. Do we go for four?
Do you feel like they're part of you? You just can't part with them. These emails are. I'm like, if you started at zero again, I mean, it'd be beautiful. I don't know, right? I don't know.
That's
Right?
that's true. I mean, to see one day if I just like dropped this down and it just said zero or there was just nothing right there or two, you know. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to take this time while we're not recording, to really kind of figure out what my next steps are with these emails.
Frank, your phone's going to blow up.
It's
Okay.
super heavy, guys. It is hard holding a phone filled with 300,000 emails.
Oh my God, David saw. Give me Frank's email address so I can email him. Uh, good Lord, I thought my 9K emails was too much. Um, Frank blew up his phone. I'm actually speechless. I don't even know. I'm actually speechless. Wow, Frank, that's crazy. So 300,000 emails, kids. He did it.
There you go. I'm an electronic hoarder. Uh, James, I'll need to hire you to electronically organize me.
Yes, exactly. That's amazing. That's actually amazing. Oh, that's I yeah. But you're not alone, Frank. I know so many people I'm meeting they're not as much as you, but they. And we'll end on that note, kids. James Engineering, we're in the world, of course. Check us out. And with I'm belching at the moment. We will see you next time. Everybody take care. Marlon Wallace goes, half those emails are love letters from